Hello, and welcome to Thursday, or as I like to call it, Thursday. Um, Hi, it's been a hot minute since I have done this, and by this I mean made Sims things and then shared it with strangers. Woo! Um, I don't remember when the last time I shared something was. It's been over a month, I think. I can explain, but first I should probably explain the house. Um, I called this house Driftwood Cove, uh, as you can see in the title. I couldn't think of a better name, but I do think it's really cute, and so I like it. Thumbs up. I'm giving a thumbs up. It's a two-bedroom, two-bathroom house located in Brindleton Bay. You can put it somewhere else if you like. I think it looks really good here, though. So like, whatever. Um, what's a cabinet? It's got a kitchen, a living room, a dining room. You know, the essentials. Uh, I said two bedrooms and two bathrooms. It's really one and a half bathrooms. Like, there's a bathroom upstairs that's like a full bathroom that I imagine people living in the house all use and share and stuff. And then there's like a little bathroom off the kitchen that I imagine is for guests, like a little powder room. Like when you have people over and they're like, "Oh, can I use your bathroom?" and you're like, "Okay, sure," and you tell them, "Oh, it's right next to the kitchen," instead of, "Oh, go upstairs," because you know that's lame and that's not it's not a thing you want to do to people. But whatever. I built this house a couple of days ago, and I like how it turned out. It actually came together really quickly. This took me less than 2 hours, and I'm really, really happy about that because sometimes it doesn't take less than 2 hours, and I spend a really long time building, and I get really bored and restless. But that didn't happen this time. I'm so happy because those make for really unusable videos. Speaking of which, I had a house that I was going to share way more recently. It was a renovation of a house from one of the packs that I thought was ugly, and I just kind of popped into the lot and was like, I can fix this, and I just don't like it. I don't like the house to begin with. I didn't like what I did with it. It's not a good house. It was in whatchamacallit, Eco Lifestyle World. Also, if you heard that noise, that's my AC. It's hot as hell in this. It is hot as hell in this hot ass funky ass room. I, it's July. It feels like that. We don't have central air in my house, but we do have window units, and they are the reason I have not died in my sleep. So that's cool. Anyway, what else can I say about this house? Oh, I know. It's sort of okay. So I've started been going on Zillow listings and looking at houses, not because I want to buy a house, but because I needed house inspiration for something I'm writing, and I just wanted like real houses to kind of like get an idea for like the kind of layout of the house that the people I'm writing about live in. So I did that, and there was this house that I saw. I shouldn't say where it is because it's a real house and like people actually live there, and it'd be really weird if I just not doxed but like just like name dropped a real town to a bunch of people. A town I don't live in, which is even weirder. But I found a house and it gave me some of these vibes. It was a little bit bigger and a totally different shape, but the entry between you and me, it has the same vibes as this entry, and it's really cute. Anyway, oh yeah, oh how have I not talked about this? High school got announced. Woo! Yeah, it looks really good. I'm kind of excited. I still haven't gotten werewolves. The reason I haven't, even though like I was really excited for it, is because, funny story. My sister is the one whose email is associated with this Origin account, and I have to ask her to update the credentials, and I didn't because I was really busy for a couple weeks, and I just I just didn't want to like get around to it, so I didn't. Yeah. Speaking of which, those last couple of weeks, no. I'm gonna talk about high school first. Yeah, it looks good, and the one thing I can't wait to do with it is recreate the monstrosity of a high school fan fiction that my friend and I came up with when we were in middle school. Um, it's actually like, oh man, I can't think of anything else I want to do with the pack because like I'm way past high school. I've been out of high school for years. I don't think about high school very often. The only other thing I could think of doing with the pack is essentially recreating like high schools I've seen and like high school movie fantasies from when I was like 10 and didn't know what high school was like. So that could be really fun actually because like I went to kind of a boring high school and I don't think I'd want to recreate it, especially because the architecture of it kind of sucks. But I am actually really excited by the prospect of getting together with my friend and recreating the setting of this. I don't even know if calling it like a high school fan fiction does it justice, because it wasn't just like one fandom. It wasn't like, no, it wasn't like a typical, oh, take the characters but they're in high school and have always been in high school and are normal people. No, it was even better or worse depending on your definition of the words. It was take various characters from a bunch of unrelated properties, just kind of plop them out of the, like, pick them out of the worlds and plop them into this pocket dimension that contains a school and nothing else. And what we would do every day on the on the bus ride to and from school, and at lunch sometimes, is we would take out like a random notebook from my backpack and plot out the like the setting of this school and all the people that went there. And we even made them all class schedules, and by which I mean, in my Google Drive I have a series of nested folders that are class schedules for people that don't exist, for a school that technically does exist because it was our old middle school, for classes that they were meant to take. And it's one of my favorite things in the world. I look at it fondly. Anyway, I don't really have much to say about this house. Actually, now that I think about it, I guess I could talk about it. Okay, so I imagined that this was for a set of elders and their grandchild, like their granddaughter, because I thought, oh, that's a fun, quirky way to like make a house for people. So I kind of wanted like the decor of the downstairs especially to be sort of like old looking, like these people decorated this house a long time ago and they never updated it because they still thought it looked great, and they were right. This house is beautiful. I would live here. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I'm gonna toot that horn. And so like I imagine this is like their kind of older house with like these older fixtures and decorations and stuff. That I actually didn't really decorate this super hard just because like I don't like going all out with my decorating when I'm being recorded, just because like I take so long and I'm very time conscious when I do these. So yeah, it's like an older house, and then they had like this grandchild with this kind of more modern room where I use a bunch of stuff from kids stuff, and like they have toys and like a little violin because it looked nice in the room, and it's just a little bit more updated, a little bit more childish and youthful. And so yeah, that's basically what I had in mind. And realistically, this could be for like any family with like one child, or this could be for two roommates, and you could like renovate the downstairs and like blast open all the walls or something. I wouldn't. I think it's perfect as is, and I love walls. I think walls are beautiful. But let's just say if you were considering a little, how do you call it, a renovation, if you will, I wouldn't be opposed. Yeah. So like this house kind of came, I think I already mentioned this, whatever. This house came together like decently quickly. I wasn't like stressing to like get things down pat. I actually had like a really good idea in my mind of how to do this, because essentially I did it room by room, and those rooms happened to turn out like a really decent size. And I basically just copied like the layout of the downstairs to the upstairs. I didn't want to make it significantly bigger or smaller. I didn't want to play with like dormered roofs or anything. I thought this was like a nice simple design, and honestly it's pretty true to a lot of houses I see. Like on my way to and from work, I take the bus through like some neighborhoods and stuff. The houses are kind of this vibe where it's like either they're like little cottages and they have like a downstairs and a dormer upstairs with like maybe two dormers in the front and then like a big dormer at the back the length of the house, or they're kind of like this where it's basically a box, but that box might have like a little bay window or like a little whatever. So like I like that look. I'll just say it's kind of nice. My house is a little like that. It's literally a box that was built in the 50s. So I might be somewhat of a box house expert. Now, oh, speaking of work, I actually just got home from work before I started recording this, like 30 minutes ago. So I mentioned I take the bus, and So usually where I get off the bus, they're doing construction, so I just have to get off a little further and then cross. So I crossed at the crosswalk. The car coming from my right stops politely. She was perfect. I loved her. The woman driving. I didn't see her face. I literally have no idea who this woman is, but she is perfection. She is the best. She stopped for me in the crosswalk, and I was so happy. Then there's this guy in this little car behind her. He like tries to go around her, like apparently not realizing she stops the crosswalk, and there's a pedestrian, me, in the crosswalk, and like honks his horn, and then like stops just short of the crosswalk. And I was like, "What the hell, dude?" I was so mad. So yeah, that was my exciting walk home. But you know what's more exciting than my walk home? The exterior of this house. I'm sorry, that was a really lame story of it was barely even a just it was barely even a I almost got hit by a car story because I didn't. I just had someone be really bad at stopping for pedestrians on my way home, which is honestly hilarious. So, yeah, I'm landscaping the backyard. I think it's nice back here. I kind of like what I did where it's stone walls instead of like a normal fence. And it's what I've done for other homes I've built for this particular neighborhood of Brindleton Bay. Um, you see right now it's in a certain part of Stable Square. It's actually, I enclosed it smaller than the size of this lot. I ended up moving it, as you may have seen from like the thumbnail of the video or like the main screenshot I have on my website. By the way, go to my website if you want to download this. It's pretty cool, pretty snazzy. So yeah, so I decided, like early on, I was thinking I could make this house bigger than it was because like in another save file I have another house, either this lot or the lot across the street, that ends up taking a bit more of the space and has like a driveway on the side and like stuff like that. But for this house, I just didn't think a driveway was like the vibe I wanted to go for, and I didn't want to put like a big garage. I thought about putting a garage. You may have seen at the very beginning, having like someone's room on top of that, but then I realized it's probably not going to work with the stairs I had in mind. It's not going to work with like the other stuff I had in mind. I was like, whatever, I'll just make it a 2 bedroom. And I think this is like a decent size for a 2 bedroom house too. Like, I like how it turned out. I think this would be decently playable. You wouldn't be getting Sims lost anywhere. I hope. I don't know. I've never really been bad about getting Sims lost because you can always just click on their portrait if you can't find them. And I mean, the only time I get them super lost is because they wandered like down the street to go play with like the grill or whatever, or go fishing or something. I'm like, what are you doing? You have work in an hour. But usually, like within a house, I don't have trouble with that. But I totally get if you had like a gigantic mansion, you'd like lose people on the third floor when you're down in the basement with someone else. Yeah. Oh, that's what I should have added, a basement. I feel like this is the kind of house that would have like some sort of basement, and if not a basement, then like it's kind of giving me like attic vibes, except the ceilings or the roof line is not tall enough to justify an attic up here. So I didn't do that. Yeah. That said, the house I was looking at online that I kind of based this off of, which looks nothing like it, but does have the same vibes, did have an attic. So, just saying, like, if I were better at building, I could have put an attic up here. Yeah. One important thing I should probably mention, the front door and the back door are custom content. They are, whatchamacallit, I forget who exactly made them. I will be linking it on the website with the download, but they're just versions of doors from Strangerville that are shrunken down to be shortest wall height instead of medium wall height, just because like I don't like using the medium wall height very much, but I do like the look of the doors, and I like the stained glass, and I like how the kind of creamy color matches the windows from Cats and Dogs really well. And there's also two other pieces of custom content I use off the top of my head. I use those two pillows on that bench right there, and you can see me forgetting that they're not going to sink back down to the floor and being extra and using tool to move them. And I also use an upright piano in the living room downstairs, just because I considered doing that thing that people do where they just combine two end tables to look like the body of the piano. But you're gonna see in a bit that I tried it. It wasn't worth the effort. It wasn't the vibe I was going for, and I just ended up not doing it. But I do think it looks fine otherwise, and like, I was able to use it as a space to like put some stuff. Like I put the little book of silhouettes from Paranormal because this is an old people house. Old people have little silhouettes, and I put like a statue from the woodworking table that I think is really cute, and it's got little birds in it, because, you know, old people like birds, something like that. I don't know. I'm 20. I'm not old people yet. That's my grandfather, what he does to decorate his house. But yeah, and here I am making like this little piano thing, which okay, I really want like an upright piano just to be natively in the game. I think it would be really easy to pull off. They have the assets for an upright piano with Get Famous, and they had the animations and stuff for like playing the piano, and they have the footprint for a piano like this. And another thing about the pianos I never understood is why the quote unquote front of the piano is facing away from the piano bench. Like, I don't get what the deal is with that. But whatever. I don't actually play the piano. I played the piano when I was like 7, and I know how to move my fingers, or like how to position my fingers. But I haven't played the piano since I was 7. So I don't know why I'm so like adamant about this whole thing. I just am. Anyway, there's the little birds I put, and they're really cute. I love them. They're cute little birds. And then this side table that I forgot to decorate, or like I just decided not to. I honestly think an undecorated side table is slightly underrated in the Sims community. A lot of people's builds that I see, they're like very heavily cluttered, and I don't have the energy for that most of the time. And also, the air conditioner is back. I'm sorry if you can hear it now, but I need it. Otherwise, we're not going to have a good time here. I'm not going to have a good time. You're not going to have a good time. If you don't have air conditioning, I'm sure you'd also be miserable. But you know what? This house that I'm building also doesn't have no, never mind. It does have air conditioning, and it has radiators, which I think is cool because, oh, another thing. My sister bought a house, and her house has little radiators. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. I'm so jealous. So I'm very excited for her. Everyone give my sister a round of applause. And now let's all tell her to please renew the origin credentials so I can get the werewolves pack. Yeah, don't tell her that, actually. You guys don't know my sister. It's okay. But yeah, the house is almost done, actually. There's like 1 or 2 more things I put in. Oh, it is done. No, it's not. I put stepping stones in the backyard. So while I do that, I'm gonna start wrapping things up here, because I'm really bad at that. But whatever. First and foremost, I want to thank you for watching, in case I don't have a chance to later. This is cool. That I really love that I'm able to like just kind of like splurge my thoughts about something, and no one's here to tell me to shut up. It's very nice. I'm excited for the incoming packs. Incoming pack. I think it's gonna be fun, and I'm tempted to get it a little after it comes out, because my birthday's next month, so I can just be like, oh, it's a birthday purchase, like what I did for cottage living. So I'm probably gonna do that. And also, it might be a while before I make another one of these. I'm very, very busy in the upcoming weeks. And also, no one leaves my house, and by the time I get home from work, everyone's in the house, and I hate recording when there's other people in the house. Like, this is like the first time in a long time there has been no one else in the house. Like, my dad went out, my mom and my brother are like out of town, it's just me and my cat's downstairs and my AC that finally shut up. And it's so liberating, and I cannot wait. When I go back to school, I will probably do more of this, because I have a single room, and no one cares if you're like talking to yourself in your room for hours. I'm so excited. But anyway, what do you think of the high school pack? What do you want to see me build next? Tell me. Do you have werewolves? Do you like it? Make me jealous of you. I think that's all. Okay, bye.